Guys, my name is Megan and I've got some of the dark romance books that are currently on my TBR for you. Alright, so today we're talking all about some dark romance books, and before we dive into those recommendations, please note to check trigger warnings on all of these books because they are dark romances. They are definitely not for those under 18. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. Alright, so first up we have Bend Him, Break Him. This is Fallen Colton, who is the freshman pitcher on his college baseball team, and he is like trying to be popular but also like just trying to get through for the first, year of college. Also following Isaac, who is like, he hates Colton because there was some bullying between them, and Isaac catches Colton cheating on a test and like kind of holds it over him, and it's kind of an enemies to lovers with a little bit of baseball thrown in, but it's also very much a dark romance, and it's one that I would highly recommend checking trigger warnings on before diving into. Next up I have Vengeful Bonds. This is the first book in the Vengeful Bonds series by Nola Harker, which is a pen name for Onley James. This one is a dark Omegaverse one. This one does have a lot of very political leanings, and it's very much a dystopian Omegaverse where this little poly pack is trying to take down the government, and I am so here for this because it's very Handmaid's Tale-esque, but also like I'm loving the Omegaverse aspects of this, but also the dark political aspects too, which just sounds really interesting all mixed together. Next up I have the Wasteland Temptations series by Evie Olsen. So Evie Olsen is also the author of the North Shore Titans series, which is one of my favorite dark hockey romance series. So this is another series. I think this is actually their first series. So this is set in a post-apocalyptic world, and people are just trying to survive and get by, and this first one is following two people that are just trying to survive the day, and it's very much an age gap, and there's kind of an annoyance to lovers, but also there's like some dark romance aspects to it. So again, please check trigger warnings before diving into this series. Knowing Evie Olsen's writing, this one will be dark, but also very funny. Next up I have Violent Devotion. This is following a Russian mafia enforcer that gets injured, and he kind of wanders into a vet's office and like makes the vet help him with like a bullet wound or something, and then it turns into kind of a stalker to lovers romance. So yes, please. And again, this one just looks really fun. This one does have some really cute fan art already that the author has posted on social media. That's kind of what got me into wanting to read this, and it just looks really fun. But again, check trigger warnings because mafia romance, dark romance, stalker to lovers. And then the last one that I have for you is going to be Paladin. This is the first book in the Jericho's Boys series, which is a spinoff of the Necessary Evils series. I love these boys so much because they pop up in all of the Necessary Evils books to some degree. They also have their own stories on Onley James's Patreon, as well as they are mixed in the short story collections that Onley James has, and I'm so excited to dive into their series. But again, this one is a dark romance, so double check trigger warnings before diving in. This one is following Olsen, who works for Jericho at the garage and is kind of like being primed to take over the garage, and it's also following Ever, who is a gamer, and I forget how they meet, but like they bond over video games and arcades, and just they're so sweet together. And Ever and Olsen are some of the main Jericho's boys that are in a lot of the rest of the books because they tend to be, or Ever tends to be like the go-to babysitter. I'm really excited to dive into, and especially I think it's one that's on my TBR for this month, so I may have already read it by the time this goes up. So those are some of the dark romance books that are currently on my TBR. What are some dark romances you guys are interested in? Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys.